Welcome, everybody, to the First Speak Podcast. This is First Speak. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. The new subscribers came through is very it's very much a blessing because again, you know, when I take it seriously, that's when people start showing up. And one particular Tampa Supreme. I'm liking the content that he has over there, and y'all should subscribe to the channel, to his channel. Today I'm not gonna hold y'all too. I'm not gonna bullshit y'all too much. I was looking at the SOS podcast. I don't even know how it. I guess it got into my feed. You know how it's recommended. And I actually, and Mr. Locario was there, and Mr. Locario is a very polarizing character, especially when you talk about Facebook. I mean, y'all should see him on Facebook. He be getting in these red pillars ass. I mean, he be getting in there. And I like listening to some of the stuff he said. Some things I don't agree with. A lot of stuff I do agree with. And I found it interesting that he was on this podcast, and there were some things that he said was good, and some things that were controversial that people was looking at him funny. But there was some good stuff in here, and I do have to say, like, after this, I'm like, I see why a lot of guys go to Locario. And I also see why there are a lot of people who don't like Locario. As you see, a lot of modern women would hate to be around Locario, but they would like to be around Locario. So we're going to get into showing this. And I'm just going to play the parts where he talked. I'm not going to play all of it. This was like 2 hours. And I may cut this up into 2 parts. We'll just see how it goes. So we're going to share this here. Okay, so the show is called Alpha Males versus Modern Feminists, Social Cast 93. I'm going to put the link into the comment, into the chat. Let's put that here. So that's the link there to the actual show if you want to go look at it. So let's get into it. We're gonna play some of this. Now I'm only gonna play where Locario talks. I'm not gonna play all of it. That thing was 2 hours. So I just wanted to cut some of the stuff. Yeah. Now we'll go back. All right. Oh, man. All right. Let's go.
This is the thing. I always say this. What you got to understand is that you can't talk about how women are without talking about men, because women are only how they are in direct correlation to men, period. So this is why even the whole concept of the modern woman, this is the thing. I always say this. What you got to understand is that you can't talk about how women are without talking about men, because women are only how they are in direct correlation to men, period. So this is why even the whole concept of the modern woman is now happening, because the modern man, or you could say the modern male, has dropped the ball, meaning men have become weak. So women had to be more masculine. You feel what I'm saying? So now what happens is that a lot of guys, they're up there, sleeping on the couch. You see what I'm saying? They have loser stuff like man caves. Like a man should not have a man cave. That makes no sense. Your whole house is your cave. How do you have a man cave in your house? So what happens is a lot of guys acquiesce to women, so they're taking the lead. That women are, doing. Like, even for example, they had that cover with ASAP Rocky and Rihanna the other day on, I forgot what magazine it was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there was a lot of dudes who were hot about that magazine cover, and I don't follow ASAP Rocky and that, but this dude was up in a dress, so he's taking pictures in the dress. So that let me all I need to know about ASAP Rocky. I'm like, at that point, it's like, are y'all really surprised he getting led by a woman? This dude was in a fucking dress, all right? So. What you expect from this guy? But anyway, let me continue.
She's in the
Are you able to pull that up, Nat?
She's in the picture leading
Yeah.
him. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of men want to be led by women nowadays. So therefore, you have more of the modern women, quote unquote, just being in the lead because men have dropped the ball. So anything that's happening with women is in a direct correlation to what's going on with men. So women are going to switch up or do a certain thing based off the man they're dealing with, period. So if you're asking a woman, are you modern or are you traditional? It depends on what guy she's dealing with and what leader in his leadership, what he put into place. You see what I'm saying? So that's how that works.
Okay, by the way, Nat.
And I agree with that. It's really depending on the woman, the man. She's either how she's going to be is really dependent on the man that she's with. Now, if he's some goofy dude, either she's going to take on his goofy actions or she's going to be trying to be the boss. But if she was a guy that is a man, is not going to let her be trying to lead him per se or try to control him, then she got two options. Either she's not going to deal with him or she's going to follow him. It's usually how that goes. And that's why I think there are the dudes who don't want to be in a relationship because it's like, look, I'm not gonna be led. I'm not gonna be under your rule or nothing like that. Now you want to be over here, great. If you don't, great, no problem. But we're not going to compromise. And I think that what he was saying is a lot of dudes do compromise themselves. That's why you do have a man cave. That's why the guys who stop doing the things they love. You hear stories about dudes giving up certain cars, giving up certain things because they want to fit into a different type of lifestyle and they give up a part of themselves. That's why like some of these dudes have a midlife crisis because they gave up so much of themselves to be in a family. And I don't think you need to give up yourself to be with the person that you want to be with. You have to be yourself and they have to accept you for who you are. And that's either they're going to accept you who you are and be with you or accept you as you are and leave. And that's very important. So
can we show up that picture of ASAP?
I have it, but we don't have it.
Okay. Anyway, you can Google the picture. But here's my question to you, because great point.
Right.
The woman will only do essentially what the man does. But
Right.
you've been in a situation where you would call yourself more of a traditional man, yeah?
Mm-hmm. I would basically just call myself a man. I don't know if traditional, just a man.
I'm just a man. You're a man's man.
Who has his own thing, right?
So my point is this. So let's say you walked into a situation with a woman and you're like, this is how I operate.
Right.
What percentage of women are going to be like, all right, let me get on board with you when they first start dating you, meaning they're already who they are.
Right.
I don't see women sort of switching it up, at least initially,
right,
for a man.
No, and that's the thing. A woman switches up when she sees value in the man. But usually women don't see value in a lot of men nowadays. Men don't see value in themselves. So a lot of guys are talking about what I got to get my looks up, I got to get my money up, my status up. That's going to make me attractive. But it doesn't, because there's more guy. Every guy, there's a lot of good looking guys. There's a lot of guys with money. There's a lot of guys with, status or whatever you want to call it. So what makes you different? What makes you valuable? And so a lot of guys don't have their own identity. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So, right. So you might have, for example, you could go to a bunch of restaurants to get a burger, right? But there's only one place you can go to get a Big Mac. Best burger. You feel what I'm saying? So a guy has to be the Big Mac. Don't just be a regular burger, because if you're a regular burger, you're not really valuable in the woman's eyes, because you're not actually being you. You're being what you heard on YouTube, or you're being what you heard in the Red Pill. You're being what you heard in the Manosphere and all that other nonsense. So this is why women are the way they are today, because I always hear guys say, well, women are doing this and women are doing that, and I'm like, bro, you have to look at yourself. That's why women are the way they are, because you're the way you are. Mm-hmm. If you would understand your value, women would listen to what the hell you're saying. They're not listening to you because they don't see value in you. Is that simple?
And that's a good nugget right there. And you hear it now with the whole SBE thing. Shouts out to Thai City, Uncut Underground, 10 to get in. Go join the channel, subscribe to the channel, join the Uncut Underground. He has some good stuff too. A lot, and you hear it. A lot of these women don't listen to us. They don't do this. They don't do that. Well, yeah, they don't value you. They don't respect you. Why would I listen to somebody I don't respect? They have to have value in you, and we're talking about relationship. We're not talking about on YouTube. Even in YouTube, YouTube too. They have to have value in what you're saying, regardless whether they agree or disagree. They have to have value in what they say. They listen to you because they have value. You have value in their lives and what you got going on. Like, I remember I had coworkers talking about how I'm getting fleeced. There was this one Arab guy. Man, these women would use me, and then they would do all this, and I had to take them out and do this. And I said, okay. And those same women, these women don't even. I say hi, bye, and I remember one woman in particular. He said that she was using him, buying liquor and stuff. That same woman tried to ask me, can I borrow your car? No. I'm like, no. And this was on New Year's Eve. I bring it back. Like, fuck no. No, that ain't happening. I ain't say fuck no, but I said no, I'm not doing that. And she didn't like be treating me any differently and mean or nothing like that. It was just a no. Where there's a one lady, like, yeah, she was being nice, and I was being nice, ultra nice. But it came a point where she's talking about drinking the last of my fucking Gatorade, and I'm like, no, this is my fucking Gatorade. What the fuck wrong with you? And she was looking at me like I'm like, I don't give a shit. No, what's wrong with you? Man, and she respected me, tuning in. Oh, hello, David. How you doing? But yeah, it's like, yeah, some women gonna try you, and how you approach that, and you have to have value in yourself. If you don't have no value in yourself, yeah, these women gonna try you and they're gonna use you up, and it's just the way it's gonna be. So, since you have to have value in yourself, and even if you're a nerd, even if you like anime, even if you like video games, I have very little. I have very little tolerance for women nowadays. Ooh, okay. I have very little tolerance for stuff too. That's not a bad thing. I have a lot. I have low tolerance for bullshit. Very. If you own some bullshit as a woman, no, no. Now I have patience for women who ain't on bullshit, and they generally trying to be nice and stuff like that. I have patience for that all day. But you trying to be on some bullshit, I cut that shit short. Nope. Especially like you trying to tell me to do something that I shouldn't be doing, nothing like that. No, I've had very little tolerance. No. The answer is no. No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm busy. No. And a lot of guys don't have that because they don't have value in themselves. They quick to drop everything and do what the woman want to do. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I used to do that. When you're young, yeah, you would do that. How can many women go a certain length to see what they can get out from a man? Absolutely. I've seen that at work. I've seen that at work a lot, man. And some have done that to me. Now I tolerate if it ain't something that's like affecting me or get me in some kind of trouble. Okay, no problem. But if it's something that's going to get me in some trouble, no. Or you're going to try to get it to where you're going to try to take my car or something like that, something where it's going to affect me. No, it's no. I'm like, because again, the point is a lot of dudes will do stuff where it affects them, and then they get mad because the woman is treating them certain way, and you feel like you're getting used. Well, the only reason why you letting her use you because you don't see value in yourself, and let her do something that's going to affect your life. It's just like when dating. Every date I've been on is someplace I wanted to go, or a movie I wanted to see, something I really want to do. It's not just what she want to do, it's what I wanted to do. And she's coming along. Guys make that mistake of, oh, I'm gonna do things that I don't like to do. I'm like, not me. Nope, not me. It's not gonna be me. I'm not gonna do something I don't want to do. Period. That time I remember my ex, we would be driving. She wanted to go to a seafood place. I don't like seafood. Well, I'm gonna go to a seafood place. We be driving, and I will burn past that seafood place. You always do that. I'm like, I don't like seafood, so why am I gonna go to a seafood place? Now, there are times where I will water. I'll go get the seafood and go there, and I might get something, or I'll go get her the seafood. I go somewhere else to get something, but no, I'm not going to a seafood place, and I don't like seafood. Sorry, just ain't have it. And that's where guys make the mistake. So let's continue. I'm going to fast forward. I'm not going to fast forward to.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, it was interesting as I'm surprised that no one said anything about sexual attraction. That's one of the things I'm interested in.
We were only doing it like
I know, but I'm just saying,
don't think outside of the box.
We got to focus.
But as far as
that's just saying it.
right, but as far as protection, I think women, they do want men to be protective because that's something that they can get from a man. Right, that there's certain situations they can't get that anywhere else. Meaning, like she can't do a certain thing that a man can. So because she can't do it, she needs him for that thing.
Protection,
You see what I'm saying?
That's where it's at
So even nowadays, this is the funny part. This is why it's so hard nowadays for guys to like even get with women, because nowadays women don't really need men for money, right? And so this is why a lot of guys are having trouble getting women, because women now can get guys they're actually sexually interested in. This is why I was talking about the whole sexual attraction part. So now if you're not sexually attractive to a woman, then she's not really interested in you sexually. So all you have left by default is the money. And this is why I think a lot of them put money as the last thing, because it's like, well, I don't necessarily need you for your money. It'll be nice. I'd like to use your money instead of my money. That's how women will think.
Oh yeah.
Right. But the thing is that I think what most women want is a guy who's a protector, provider, but he's also sexually attractive and sexually appealing. And I think that's what's missing out of marriages nowadays, is that you have guys who are married to their wives, but they're like, well, I haven't had sex in a month. You know why? Because she's not sexually attracted to you. You see what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, yeah, that's crazy. I've heard dudes like, I've been in a sexless marriage for years. I'm like, that wasn't my reality. That was never my reality. Even when I gained weight, I lost weight, gained weight. Man, I was, boy, I looked it bad. Like 2000. If y'all look at me now and look, and back then I was like pushing 360. Now I'm 330 now. Still not where I should be, but definitely wasn't what I was. And not only just physically, mentally not where it is. I was still getting sex. I don't know. I like, really? You in a sexless marriage? Couldn't be me. I mean, shit, man. When I wanted sex, we got sex. I got sex. When she wanted sex, we got sex. We made time for some sex. That wasn't. I had to push her away because so sex wasn't the issue. But I do think that there is a point. You have to have a sexual attraction, and I think that men and women do tend to discount that, especially men, especially in these red pill spaces. They discount, well, not even red. Some of the guys who are red pill, they discount sexual attraction. Well, she got to have money. You have the status. Yes, you do have to have that to a degree. But if the woman's not sexually attracted to you, that has to be the initial. She has to be attracted to you in order to want to be in a relationship with you. There has to be an attraction. If there ain't no attraction, especially physical attraction, the relationship is going to be dead. And you're going to end up either being the, friend zone, or you're going to be a trick. Now, a trick in the sense of trying to buy this woman, but you want her for a relationship instead of what you should be doing as a trick. No, you pay her for her sexual time and then go about your business. But if she's not sexually attracted to you and you just putting money in there, eventually when the money goes, she gonna go. Or she be with you, but she not really with you. Like he's saying, you in a sexless marriage while she's fucking some dude. You being a cook. And not the cook where he's watching and stuff like that. I'm talking about a cook where he don't even know what's going on. And next thing you know, you got a baby, but you don't even know that's your baby. So, that one I'm like, the sexual attraction is very important. you know, it's not the be all end all, but yeah, if you're not sexually attractive, it's not gonna work. And I know that as a black pillar. See, I'm black pill. That's why we understand that it sexual attraction is not there, your relationship is not there. Now you can still have a friendship, but even with a friendship, you still have to have an attraction. If you don't have an attraction, what's the point?
Saying that's how it works.
Do you hear that common complaint? By the way, most of the women that you coach, what percentage are single versus in a relationship or married?
I would say about 65% are single, maybe 20% are in a relationship looking to get out of it. It's almost like the education and the money thing. It's almost like the
I wanted to play this part here because I think this is important because and because when Kevin Samuels said about your education didn't matter, women took it they really took it the wrong way. Oh, you just want us to be dumb and they went to the extreme like most people do in these talking points. But I want to play this part right here because it was very important. Here, where was it? I'm trying to catch it here. Here.
with the single women, it's a lot of dating stuff. So it's a lot about what am I doing wrong? I do get a lot of those women who are too far on the modern side and they've kind of lost touch with some of that feminine, more traditional stuff. So it's almost like the education and the money thing. It's like, it's nice to have, but it's kind of like, it's like gravy. Being successful as a woman, having that skill set. As I said, my partner's professional. I think it's awesome that she does that. She's very smart.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't why I bought the meal. That stuff about her is the gravy.
As far as the fact that she has a career and she's making money.
Exactly.
It's a bonus,
That's
but
a
it's
gravy.
definitely not the entree.
I love gravy. Don't get me wrong. Gravy's great.
I'm
But I
not just
don't
going to
buy
have
a
mashed
meal-
potatoes for the sake of having mashed potatoes.
the
Throw some gravy on that thing.
Oh,
Exactly.
great.
Yeah.
And
Should we
so
order Popeyes?
Shout out to those mashed potatoes out there across the country, Nat.
so what I see in dating is a lot of women are presenting the gravy as the main meal. Like,
Yeah.
oh, look how successful I am. I make all this money. This is why I'm a great girlfriend. And guys are like, that's cool, but it's not really the main reason I'm here.
Interesting.
And so a lot of it is moving back to some of those more feminine, hey, trust him. Hey, share your feelings.
Yeah, and I thought that was a very great statement by, I guess his name is Mark. He's a dating coach too, but he's for women where Locario, he's the opposite of Locario. Locario's for men. I think he do women, but he's mostly men. And Mark over here is more for women. Now, what he said is true, and this is where, you know, I hear this argument all the time when Kevin said that about the education and the career. Women want to put that as the focal point of why you should get with me, when the guys are like, wait a second, no, that's not why I want to get with you. I did not get with you. Look, it's nice that you have an education. It's nice that you have a career. But most guys are not looking for you for education because, again, and career, because, again, most guys, if they're a guy, is not looking at your money. They're not looking to be supported by a woman like that. And I think, like, because when Kevin said that, it's like, oh, you just want us to be dumb and all that. It's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. And I even said it. I don't care about your education as a woman. I don't. My reasoning being is that you didn't do that education to get with me. You did not get an education to go get a man. If you did, if you went to college just to get a man, you wasted a ton of money. I'm just going to be honest. But a woman went to college for herself. She got a career for herself, so she wouldn't be dependent on a man. So, in essence, why would I care about your career? Now, I'm glad you got your money. If I'm in a situation where I don't want you to be taking all my money, yeah, it's great that you have an education and you can help provide for the family. But at the end of the day, the bulk of the bills are going to be with me. The bulk of the money is going to be, I'm going to be paying out. I'm going to be handling most of the bills. So at the essence, your education is not going to matter to me. Your career is not going to matter to me. Because again, even with the education part, if I'm fixing cars and you're teaching, what the fuck you're going to do for me as far as my career? You get that? Now, if the teaching part would be great. If you want to homeschool or something like that, that's a different story. But if your education is, if the woman's education in being a doctor and he's a mechanic, how is her education going to benefit him in his career and stuff like that? Now, yeah, like I said, that could benefit him in his life as far as his teeth and stuff like that. So in that way, it would benefit. But then again, he can still go to a dentist. What he wants is the femininity, the being with you being loving and nurturing and stuff like that. That's important to men. I said men. Not all men, but many men. And that's where I see where women get that wrong. Like, oh, you should just focus on my education. You should focus on my career. I'm like, no, I don't. And that's when dudes will be like, well, fuck your education. I don't care about it. No, I don't care about your career. And then women take that. That's a fit. Oh, you just offended me. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to be offensive. You didn't do it for me, so why should I care? When you're trying to throw it in my face, I'm like, well, fuck it then. I don't give a fuck. And I think that's where, just like with the dudes with the money and the dudes with the money, and you had the women say, well, I don't give a fuck about your money. I make my own money. I'm not getting with you for money specifically. Although there's women that do. A lot of women don't. Just like women, I'm not getting with you for your education. I'm not getting with you for your career. You have to be attractive. If I'm not attracted to you, if I don't not attracted to you or respect you, why the fuck are you here? You know? So I thought that was a good point that he made. So let me get to.
Is it to expect modern women to kind of go back to their traditional role and just get your ass back in the kitchen, girl? Like, is that even realistic at this point?
Yeah.
What do you think, Locario?
It's absolutely realistic. The problem is, again, like I said, these guys are pussies. So this is why it's not happening. It's literally that simple.
Say it louder for those in the back.
They're not going to listen to you because they don't, like you're saying, trust. They don't trust you because you're inconsistent. Most guys nowadays are inconsistent. So that inconsistency breeds mistrust. It's like, well, I don't trust you to be a man because you're.
Yep. As one of the guys that I respect on YouTube, Mr. Research said, he preaches that a lot. Most men are inconsistent with what they're doing. If you're not consistent with what you're doing, when you're talking about leading a woman, you have to be consistent. You got to be firm, fair, and consistent. Now you got to be there in life. In where I work in the prison, they teach us firm, fair, and consistent. If you're not consistent, like if you enforce a rule one day, then the next day you don't enforce a rule. If dude, house got to be a certain way, and then the next day you're not. the guys at the prison ain't gonna respect you. That's the same with a woman. She's not gonna respect you if you're not consistent with what you're doing, how you treat her, how you living your lifestyle. If you just all over the place, the woman's gonna lose respect for you very quickly, and they're not gonna be able to trust you. Like when me and my ex got together, she saw that I was trying to better myself. I was going for a teacher. Then when I stopped going to teacher, then I wanted to try to do work at Social Security. That didn't work out too well. But but I was consistently at least trying to work. There were times where I got depressed and fell off, and then she had to give me a kick in the ass. But the one thing she did respect about me is that I was consistently trying to work. When I was on my game, that was consistent. I didn't just drop a job. If I got hired for a job, I'm staying on that job. I was consistent in that. Bills, consistent, paying it, no problem. Making sure she's loved, making sure I pay her attention. I was consistent. A lot of guys are not consistent, especially with their standards on how they want their women to be. They're not consistent. They just, oh, the woman don't like this. I'll just change up. Or you in the anime. Next thing you know, you into what she likes, and you know that's not you. Or you'll try to be this macho dude when you know you're not that type of guy. You're trying to change. That's not your core self. And if you don't know your core self, that's going to be a problem. How are you going to lead this woman? So let me continue that.
You're not being consistent. And then because you're not being consistent, I'm not going to listen to you and I'm not going to follow you because you're not showing me that I should follow you. And that's the problem where guys are losing. They don't understand their influence over women. They think that, well, I don't have anything to do with what women are doing nowadays, right? But it's always directly correlated to the man. So because men are soft, because men don't know how to lead, this is why it's not happening. So it is realistic if he's a man. But if he's not a man, if he's just a male, it's unrealistic. So we have a lot of males out here who type on the internet and, watch all these videos, but they're not really men. And so this is why they're having issues with women. As soon as they become a man, the issues they have with women it'll be done. It'll be finished.
By the way, clip that, cut it, boom. That's Locario's thing right there. For you guys out there that are wondering, all right, I got to figure out.
Yep. And that's the thing. When you're not consistent, and that's why a lot of these women don't pay them no mind. And that's why dudes are SBEing, shame, blame, explain. The reason why you're shaming because you cannot influence this woman to do what you want her to do. That's why these dudes are going on fucking rants and yelling, screaming, crying on panels, trying to get these women to understand and hey, you need to follow a man and you need to do this. These women are looking at them like they either laughing at them or yelling back at them because, again, they don't see no value. And since they don't see no value, what you're talking about, these women not listening. And that's why, guys like Ty City, Zero, Ramil Amir, and even guys like Mr. Richard say, listen, stop trying to explain everything. Stop trying to shame these women. You cannot shame these women if she don't want to follow you. Your leadership is not for her. She's not for you. Let her go. And if you're in a relationship and she's still not following you, then at the end of the day, it's a lot of it is you. A lot of it is you. You're not the leader that you think you are. You're not the man that you think you are. You might have to reevaluate. Now, sometimes it could be her. She could be an issue. And then at that point, then you need like, she got to go. Got to go. It's got to go. Bye-bye. And then even that is in leadership. It's like, okay, you don't want to follow me. Bye. Got to go. Bye. Bye. It is what it is. Let's continue.
What I'm doing with my
guys who make six figures and blah 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 blah. That's what they prefer. Like, just like any guy would say, well, I prefer a woman who looks like Kim Kardashian or looks like Beyonce or whatever. Doesn't mean you're going to get it. You feel what I'm saying? So a woman may prefer a guy who is a bazillionaire, but she's most likely not going to get that guy. You know what I'm saying? And if she does get that guy, usually it's a guy who's a simp or a beta male who's going to basically give her all these things because he just wants access to her. You understand? So that's usually like the trade-off, where if the main thing is money, that means that the woman isn't actually interested in him. It's really just the money. And therefore, if he's going to be cool with that in a lot of cases, that means that guy is usually a beta male that don't, he doesn't really respect himself. You know what I'm saying?
All right. We haven't heard from Emily in a while. Do you have any strong feelings on the conversation we just had?
What's the question?
There we
That low income.
But
So
it's not
basically,
even about
basically you're
that,
saying,
though.
hey, buddy, you want a traditional woman? Go make more money.
Be a traditional man.
But it's not even about that, though. You see, if I'm your man, right? Whatever I'm telling you to do, whatever instructions I'm giving you, you should do that. So if I'm making 40K and I say, listen, we need to make 80K, I'm gonna need you to go get this job, work from this time to this time. So you're still listening to me, and that would be like a traditional woman. You're listening to your man. You're basically following his lead. You feel what I'm saying?
It depends on
So
who the
it's-
man is.
right. So
Wouldn't you
either way,
say-
it's the same concept.
But wouldn't you say if you put your woman in that position and then she gets to a point, maybe she starts to make more than you, now you pushed her into being more of a modern woman because of your set of instructions?
No. Because you know why? Because it's not about the money. It's about the man. So she's listening to me because she finds value in me and she sees me as that guy. So I could be making $1 a year. It doesn't matter. She could be making $1 million a year. If my woman's making $1 million a year and I'm making $1 a year, I have $1,001,001. You see what I'm saying? And then all I'm doing is I'm creating the structure of my relationship. And so she's following me because I'm the man. So the money is inconsequential. The only reason money becomes an issue, and I always tell guys this, it becomes an issue because she never saw you as a man in the first place. And she was basically seeing you as the money. So now that let's say a guy lost his job or something, he was making good money, 6 figures, whatever. He loses his job. She doesn't respect him anymore. You see this happen a lot. Or she wants to divorce him, or she's doing whatever it is because she never respected him in the first place. She was only with him because of what he can do for her and provide him and for that situation. But she didn't like the man behind the money. She has to like the man behind the money. So it doesn't matter how much money she's making. She likes the man behind the money. And that's what it is.
So I'm going to give you.
And I thought that was a good point there. And that's, you have to blame Kevin Samuels and a lot of these dudes in the red pill. What do you guys think about Locario show? What do you guys think about Locario show? Well, I think about I don't listen to it enough. I've listened to some of this. There's some things I agree with what he says and some things I don't like. But this right here, when you're talking about the respect factor, I totally agree with. Listen, when I was down, my wife was making more than me. Matter of fact, she bought our first car. She the one bought it. I didn't buy the car. I didn't have enough money to get it. She got it. Now, she got it through student loans and got the extra and paid for the car. I mean, she paid for the car. I didn't pay for the car. But what I did was make sure, hey, this car's running right and stuff like that. The point of it is, if she respects you enough, she's willing to work with you. Now, this is not saying, hey, just make 40K and do that. No, men need to strive to be better. And that's where the some of these red pills like, oh, well, she should just accept you at 40K. No, that's not what Locario is saying. If you got 40, if you making 40K, but you have a plan to make more than that, that's a good thing. And that woman will come to you and she see that plan and she's going to work with you to do it. She gonna put her money with your 40K. Now you got 80K. But it's not just we come together and she's just throwing money at you. It's because you have a plan. You have something in place. So now, hey, okay, look, I want you to go work here. Hey, go be this manager over here. And so she's making 50K. You still making your 40K, but you got 90K. Now, yeah, do some women do get a bigger head? Yeah. But a lot won't because they're following their man. And then while she's getting her 50K, he's looking at, oh shit, I gotta get to my 50K. And he's still trying to get to where he wants to be. And a lot of times with the whole thing with the women turning on the guys, it's because these dudes, they still stuck here and they're not trying to grow. And they don't have a plan to grow. You got a dude in a remedial job and he ain't growing. Meanwhile, she's up there, she's killing it at her job. He's still stuck right here. She's gonna be like, well, what the fuck? What are you doing? You know. So, where was this podcast? Oh, I have the link. Where was this podcast? That's the first comment. That's the link to the show. So you want to see the whole podcast? That's the link. That's the first. Let me do it one more time. I'll put it right here. There you go. That's the link to the show. So if you want to go check it out, the whole thing. I'm just skipping through parts. The whole show was good. So I would suggest you should go look at it if you got time. The thing is 2 hours, but it didn't feel like 2 hours. You could get real lost in it. It's because there's some good stuff. So if you want to check it out, go check it out there. So that's a link to the show. But yeah, back to the whole thing, like what he was saying. You have to be continuously growing. Even with or without a woman, you have to have your plan on how you're going to live as a guy. She just got to fit into that plan. And if she don't, I mean, it's no point. So let's keep continuing.
Yes, I agree, and then I disagree. So if you don't mind, totally understand. The woman has to respect the man, like she has to be attracted to him. He's got to be a leader, all that, and then some.
Right.
But I also think it's fair to say, based on the principle of hypergamy, and I know that you're being sort of outlandish with the $1 million versus $1, but I don't think these days a chick is going to be with some dude that ain't bringing home the bacon. I just don't.
But that's the thing. The reason why she won't be with him, like I said, hypergamy only matters when you're the regular burger, like I was saying earlier. Because if your woman is with you, but mainly she's with you just for money, then if I meet another guy who has more money than you, then I'm gonna leave you for the guy who has more money than you. But if she's with you because she loves you, the man who you are, she can't find a better you. She can't find another you. You're the only one of your kind. So therefore, if she respects you, it doesn't matter how much money you're making or she's making. Everything is going to be how it needs to be because you already implanted that situation in her.
This is the importance of it. Not everything is black and white. There's a gray area, but I think I hear you and I understand that. And I think there's a lot of men out there that are like, yeah, I agree, Locario for sure. But I also think that you're kind of discounting lifestyle. If a dude is not able to provide the lifestyle that woman wants, she's going to be like, all right, you're great. You're awesome. You're bringing it in all ways plus Sunday. But I'm paying your bills. I'm paying the rent. I'm the one paying for flights.
I agree.
I'm going to go find some dude that is just as dope as you, but he's going to pay for my lifestyle.
See, and that's
I don't know if this, I think you're kind of discounting the financial aspect.
I don't know. I dated somebody and I made more money than them, but he provided a lot of the other things.
Yeah, I liked it this one. I'm gonna keep watching the show. And the show was great. This show was great though. This one got me hooked on the show. And he wasn't on one side or the other. He understood. He's a good host. And this is a thing. But to this part right here, let me backtrack again.
And who you are, she can't find a better you. She can't find another you. You're the only one of your kind. So therefore, if she respects you, it doesn't matter how much money you're making or she's making. Everything is going to be how it needs to be because you already implanted that situation in her.
This is the importance of it now.
Yeah, and that part right here is like, yeah, you can have all that money, but at the end of the day, it has to be the person. Like, even though my ex still called me, like, even I left my ex, like, when we got when I separated from my ex, I didn't talk to her. I didn't, I was done. She called me, I want to say 3-4 months later. Hey, I'm with this guy. I'm like, okay, cool. Oh, can you even take me can you drive me to go on a date with this guy? I said, okay, well, you got gas money? Because I ain't paying for that shit. I got the gas money. Okay, cool. So she went on a date, whatever. I didn't give a shit. Came back, drove her back to her house, got my money, and went about my business. She told me, like, I think a couple of weeks later, and as we were, effing, she was like, I was trying to make you jealous. I said, I didn't give a shit. Why are you trying to make me jealous? I don't give a shit. I left you. You didn't leave me. And, and even to this day, she still contacts me. Hey, how you doing? Are you okay? You doing great? Hell, her mom came and tried to take care of my mom when my mom was sick. And that's because of the relationship that she developed with my mom, which she developed with me. Just like her mom came and helped take care of my mom when she was sick too. And that's because of the relationship that we had with each other. I developed that. Even despite the fact that I cheated on her, even despite the fact that I left, normally, people be done like that. But she still find value in me enough to where, hell, I can go over to their house right now. If there was a situation where I lose my house right now, I can go over their house and stay over there full time if I had to. Her and her mom would let me stay over there, no problem. Yeah, you can stay over here. There was a time, like, Yeah, you can stay over here. I'm like, no, but and I try. Yeah, I can. They will cook for me. They would let me use their. If I need to wash clothes, they let me do that. I stopped doing that though because I didn't want to. Because I didn't want to take advantage of that. You know. But the point of it is, it's like they have so much value. They see so much value in me that I come over like, hey, I'll be over in about 20 minutes. Okay. Did you eat? No. Okay. We got some food for you. She'll even bring before I even leave and go back to work. Like she will have food for me, and I'm like, that's not stuff. How many people can say that? How many guys can say that about not only their exes, but their ex mother-in-law will be so gracious enough to leave you, make you some food. It's not that many, and that comes from what he was talking about. That's not something you can just buy with money. You have to have some value to that woman that even if you are gone, they still want to rock with you. They don't have this resentment and anger towards you. There's a lot of dudes who have their women have anger, and resentment towards them. Some of it is their fault. Some of it is not their fault. And that's when you go into the child support and and this child support is child custody. That stuff, a lot of that is because those women have anger and resentment issues. Some of it is their fault. Again, some of it is the woman's fault. That's why I don't take all it's always the man's fault for relationships ending. Sometimes the man could be doing the right thing, believe it or not. She got issues. Or it just don't work out for whatever reason. The woman is still bitter. The woman is still angry. And they use the children as an excuse to go back at that man. Oh, I'm gonna keep you from your kids. I'm gonna make it so difficult. We have to put that in consideration. Or hell, even worse, hurt the kids because they mad at the man. But that's because they never respected the man in the first place. And the anger and resentment boils over, and now they hurting the kids, and they going around saying you ain't this, you ain't that. It's a mess. Relationships can be very messy, but the biggest thing is if you don't have that respect from that woman from the jump, that they value you even more than your money, more than your looks. Because listen, all these players talk about, oh, we have this success. Players get cheated on too. Otherwise, you wouldn't have all these songs by these guys who trapped it, like a Chris Brown or Trey Songz or even Babyface, and talking about and they talking about women cheating on them. So if they can get cheated on, what do you think the average guy got to go through? The point of it is do that woman see value in you, and and she have to respect you even more than your money. If she don't, then it's just transactional at that point. Let me make one more thing. Even with the whole tricking thing, and I know people got to go on the tricking thing. Some tricks are treated better than others. I'm just gonna say that, and that's usually because part of it is the woman, sometimes the guy. How you act with these escorts and these 304s. Some of them don't treat dudes the same. Just want to put that out there.
Not everything is black and white. There's a
Right.
gray area.
Like,
check
and I
this out.
started thinking about the
But check
money.
this out. See, this is the issue though.
She's looking for the
Right,
BBD.
right,
I'm
and
not
notice-
talking about what you got going on. I'm talking about bigger, better
and notice
deal.
what you said. You said paying for her lifestyle.
Yeah.
See, that's the issue. See, what if a man gets with a woman, it's not about her lifestyle. This is why a man has to put a woman into his lifestyle. She has to become part of his program. And that's the problem with a lot of men. They're going along with the woman's program, which is why she doesn't respect him in the first place, which is why she's going to jump from him to another guy because she never respected him because he never had a program. So when her lifestyle is supposed to be his lifestyle, meaning that she's supposed to be following him. So if I like to skydive, the woman I'm with should love to skydive, not because
I look right there when you said Scott. She got the. You're like, what the fuck? I saw it. I had to step right there. I look when he said Scott, Daddy. She's like, what the fuck? Yo.
I like it, but because she likes it and she found the man she wants to follow in that direction to continue to do that. The problem is men get with women where the woman is using him for her benefit and not to benefit the situation.
Let me say one thing, and then I know you had a point to make regarding the money, but let me say one thing. You know how they say that your network is your net worth? All right, who do you surround yourself with? Your
Right.
network is your net worth. Make sure you're around the right people, all that. So here's where I'm going. At one point in a previous relationship, I was rolling with some, let's just say some big dogs, right? All the dudes had money, mansions, they're doing their thing. I mean, I'm good. I was the poorest guy by far in this crew, okay? I knew I was the poorest guy in this crew when everyone jumped in the pool with all their jewelry on and I took my watch off. I was like, yeah, I didn't want to risk it. That's how you kind of know, you know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm talking about. But point is, it's almost like being the, would you rather be the nicest house in the worst neighborhood or the worst house in the nice neighborhood? I was the worst house in the nicest neighborhood.
Right.
I'm rolling with dudes. And here's what I'm thinking. Girls are very impressionable. Okay. Now, if my girl is sitting here, let's say Brody's my girl right here, and she's hanging out with this girl and this girl and this girl, and girls do, oh, where'd you get that ring? Where'd you get that bag? Oh my God, I went to Mykonos this summer, St. Bart's. Oh, where'd your man take you? Blah, 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 blah. They're doing that thing. And they start saying, hold on, what? What does your man do? Oh no, he's not. What? You're paying for everything? Now these girls are gonna be like, no, you can't, girl, you need it. Blah, 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 blah. Boom, you're done.
Right.
You're fucking done.
Right.
And next thing you know, she's like, honey, this just isn't working. I've seen it before. So that's why I'm saying, like, I agree with you. There's so much of what I'm saying. The man has to be the fucking man, whether he's making fucking 40 grand a year or $4 million a year. Shout out to Kiana and what she's looking for. But the money does play a bigger role.
But that's because that guy doesn't have influence over his woman. It's that simple.
No, it's
Or maybe
biology.
she just has standards.
He doesn't have influence over her, meaning that, okay, check this out. Understand, even just in, like psychologically, how people just think about the way they think about things and the way they go about things. The reason why you usually do what you do is because you've been conditioned to think a certain way and to be a certain way, right? So what happens is that if you're not teaching your woman anything or teaching her how to be with you or enlightening her, upgrading her mind, then what happens is that she has no attachment to you. So most guys don't have an attachment to, like, most guys don't have women who are attached to them, meaning that the woman doesn't have a deep, like, connection to the dude. It's very surface level. So money is always surface level. And so what happens is of course, if you're a surface level dude, then yeah, definitely what you're saying is going to happen, meaning that if she finds someone who has more than you, she's going to be gone. That makes perfect sense. But the problem is that if you're a guy who doesn't know how to influence his woman, then she's going to be gone. Check this out. For example, I'm non-monogamous. My wife and girlfriend can see other men, right? I've been with my wife for 15 years. My wife's been with guys who are taller than me. I don't know about better looking. I think I'm the flyest dude ever, but right? Let's say she's been with guys better looking than me, more fit than me, have more money than me, right? And these guys, they would try, you know what I'm saying? They could try to like get at her and everything like that, and she's still here with me. But the reason why she's with me is because I've influenced her. Like if you were to talk to my wife or even my girlfriend, some of the stuff they say would sound like you're talking to me. and that's because I have influence over them. The problem is most guys don't have influence over their woman, so it's easy to for the girl to stray. This is why I used to sleep with women who.
I think that's a good point that what he was saying. Now, I will, to Adam's credit, I think that's the host name of the show. One of the reasons why a lot of men, especially back in the day, had more influence over the women then than they do now was because of the economics. Okay, she want to go do this and whatever. All you had to do is like, yeah, you got to go buy her. You got to go. You got to go. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck you talking about? No. Oh, she gained. Well, I'm not even gonna say black community because the weight issue wasn't a big thing in the black community, as some of these red pillows black men are talking about now. But back in the day, their weight was not an issue. She gained 200 pounds. Like, black men would still be that woman. Now we're talking about in the white community, that's a different factor. But other things, if she was just gonna be, she's gonna be an issue, a headache, dude, get rid of her, get another one. Or she wanted to, like, in the family said, "Oh, I just want to do what I want to do. I want to get with, hey, Conscious, how you doing? I want to get with any kind of guy." The father be like, "Okay, you can do that, but you be out in the street. I'm pregnant with this dude, baby. Yeah, you out you going somewhere else. You ain't coming here." That's how some families roll, and that's how men control the had more influence over women economically. If you want to bring it to the black community, that's why a lot of other races have more control, have more influence, I want to say. And you can say control. Yeah, everything's good with me, Conscious. Everything is good. I've been seeing some of your stuff too. You do some good stuff over there. Yeah, but they had more influence in the past because of economics. Once the economics turned, especially in the black community, and now you see a lot more women making more money than men, at least initially. Now, as they get older, to me, it kind of balances out. But as you see, it's like more women are making more money. And when you have a situation like that, it's kind of hard to influence women economically. So you can't influence women economically. So you have to go other means. Whereas you have to have information. You have to have something going on where this woman wants to be involved with you. If you don't have that and all you have is money, well, guess what? She could go make money on OnlyFans. Women can make money so many different ways now in 2023. They don't have to be dependent on a guy to make money. I'm like, again, OnlyFans. Hell, we don't even have to do OnlyFans. Woman could just go up there, be in tight pants, jiggle her ass. Guess what? Dudes are throwing cash at. Hell, we look at just pearly things. Hell, she ain't all she has to say. Hey, women need to be submissive. Cash apps, super chats. Women are too moderate. Cash apps are coming. Women, be submissive to your man. Cash apps are coming. Women, we want you to be wise and shut up and eat. Go to the kitchen. Guess what? Cash apps are coming. Women don't even have to. They don't have to do much to get money from dudes. So, if you think money is going to be, And even not even that, hell, the government will take care of them to a degree. So really, the influence of men was mostly economic. Nowadays, you can't control a woman economically unless you're just completely dumb. And that's why some of these dudes are trying to go younger because those women don't have the money yet. But guess what? Those women are getting money younger. You got 20 women in their 20s making six figures. Think about that. You got women in their 20s making six figures. How are you going to influence her economically? And you making what, five figures? You making 40K? How you going to influence a woman making 100K? There was a guy on the panel, on an SKC panel, and we were talking about, women in power, and he was making some goofy stuff, and I'm like, I got on there. I said, okay, guy, how you going to influence a woman with power, and you don't have none? How you going to do that? How you going to make her want to work with you, and you have no power to influence her to do otherwise? Go. Oh, well, I could just romance her. I'm like, dude, she can get any guy to do that. That's what Locario was talking about. You have to influence her in other ways other than money. You have to have something. And just like here when he was the skydiving where the woman was was freaked out. Yeah, that's extreme, but there was a point to that. Like, I went to the Ecchi Expo. Anybody know what that is? That is an anime convention where they deal with the more hentai side, the more sexual side of anime. Skimpy stuff. But you seen couples together. They together doing the same thing. Hell, I went to the Adult Video Expo in January. I saw couples there too. She's in all shades of clothing, almost naked. They were almost naked. But they were still together. And the reason being because they have an interest. They have a shared interest. What a lot of guys do make the mistake, you trying to get in her lifestyle, and that's something that you don't even want to do, as opposed to her being your lifestyle where y'all have the same thing. He let's just take Locario's lifestyle. He's an open marriage. He get to do what he want to do. He can fuck who he want to fuck, get in relationships who he want, and she can do the same thing. You have to have a woman who wants to be in it. Oh, let's just take a swinger relationship. Because this is more like I can't say a swinger relationship. I don't know, polyamorous? Maybe. I don't know. But the point is, you got to have a woman who wants to be in that type of relationship, who's willing to be in that type of relationship. If you have a woman who don't want to be in that relationship, it's not going to work. Or in kind of reverse, it has to, as a man, whatever she's doing have to fit with what you're doing. If it don't fit with what you're doing as a man, what's the point? It's not going to go anywhere, and you're going to have this battle between each other, back and forth. And that's why a lot of dudes be going around talking about they cheating on their women and like cheating in peace. There ain't no cheating in peace. The fact that you even cheating means that this woman is not. It's not cool what you doing, getting with other women. So you got to sneak around. How you gonna have a relationship like that? And that don't mean I remember some guy on Ty's panel in the underground was like, "Oh, you got to check in." There ain't no checking in. He already told her what it is, so she's okay with what it is. So that's not cheating. That's not cheating if everybody knows what's going on, and she's okay with it. And in his extreme case, he's letting the woman go out and do what she want to do. And boy, people will against this. But the whole point of this is saying that she has to be into your lifestyle. If she's not, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Let's continue.
Were wives and girlfriends, meaning that these women actually had boyfriends and husbands. And the reason why it was so easy for me to sleep with them, and this is when I was super broke, I was sleeping with women who had husbands who had millions of dollars, who made six figures. And the reason why I was able to do that was because those guys had no influence over their woman. So it was really easy for me to take their girl. I had women, check this out. I've actually saved marriages because I would have to tell the woman to go back to their man. They were trying to leave their man for me, and I was broke. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking
Okay, so
about.
give me an example of what you were doing to command that type of influence, and basically having a woman that's married to some multimillionaire trying to hang out with some broke dude.
Right. And the reason is this, is that one, she was attracted to who I was, who I am. Like I'm completely honest. I don't bullshit. I'm consistent. I let them know exactly what it is. They get a taste of who I am. So what happens is, in comparison to her man, she's like, okay, this guy is totally different than any guy I've ever met. My guy is cookie cutter. He's like any other guy. He's making six figures, but all of these other guys make six figures too. So there's nothing different about him. It's different about my man, but there's something different about Locario. That small little thing is what drew her into me. You see what I'm saying? And so what happens is that it was easy for me to take his girl because he didn't have any influence. Now, I did run into women who their men actually had more influence over their girl. And those were the hardest girls to get. Some of them I couldn't do it because they were so about their man, and I respected it. Because I was like, that guy has influence over his girl. So that's all I'm saying. Influence is very important. But in order to influence a woman, you have to first be able to influence yourself as a man, because that's the only way she's going to believe you, because you believe you. You see what I'm saying?
All I'm hearing in my head right
Absolutely.
now is Mr. Still your girl? Is Mr. Still your
Locario, can I
girl?
ask you a question?
Yeah, and then I want to turn it to Mark. Go ahead.
Just real quick. Do you want kids, and do you have kids?
Yeah, and that was a good point there too. Like you said, you don't believe in yourself. There's no point in being in a relationship to begin with, because you're just gonna follow the flow. I said this on a panel. All leaders have egos. You have to have an ego to be an effective leader, because you got to believe that your way is the best way. A lot of people, if you get into leadership, part of the reason you get into leadership because you believe that your way is the best way, and the other way ain't going to work. Now, you can learn different ways. Hey, this don't work, try this and something like that. But ultimately, at your core, your way is the best way. And when you meet a woman, she has to believe that you believe that your way is the best way. Now, she got two choices. Again, that's where the freedom comes in. Hey, you can follow me, or you can't. You don't have to. It's in the discussion. But you as a guy got to believe in that in order for that to work. I had my ways. I believed in my way. But when I didn't, that's where the bigger problems came in my relationship. But when I on my purpose and know what I was going to do, that's when everything fit together. And that's when my wife wanted to follow me, and she wanted to support what I wanted to do, because she ultimately want me to succeed in the way that I'm trying to succeed. let me go to the next thing.
Oh no, I don't want any kids. I don't have any kids. Yeah.
Because I think it's important to clarify that the lifestyle that you're describing, it works for you. I think it's probably a lot of fun. It will not work for a family.
Oh no, it does actually.
I don't believe that.
I'll tell you.
for
I'll tell
one
you.
second.
I'll tell you.
I do
No, it
not
does.
believe
It's
that for one
actually
second.
no. I'll tell you right. There's actually a
Hold on,
couple.
before you answer that, how old are you?
41.
You're 41.
Yeah. So there's actually a
Black don't
couple.
crack,
There's a
shit.
couple you could Google them. It's called Juju Mama, and this couple, they're in open marriage.
And you think
They
their
have-
kids are okay?
They have 3 kids. Yes.
You
they
think their
have
kids
3
are well-rounded
Yes,
individuals?
they're well-rounded.
No, they're
Awesome.
not.
They're awesome. You can
If they
Google
are,
them.
if
You
they
can
are,
Google
it's
them.
an exception to the rule.
Say that
All right,
again?
Mark.
Thank you.
So he doesn't want a family. Great question. Give me what you agree with and what you disagree with what Locario just said. Is there anything you agree with?
Yeah, there's definitely pieces. I think when he says influence, he's talking about having a sort of a building blocks. He's talking about being more than just money. So he's talking about let's build something together. There's lots of studies around marriage that show that the influence should go in both directions. If it's just her influencing him, all too often she'll end up without having a voice, and she'll end up.
I think he made a mistake. I think he meant with him influencing her totally. I think that's what he made a mistake. Like, but anyway.
Basically just living his life, and somewhat like your mum ended up. That's how women can end in those situations where they don't have a voice. They're not able to put themselves out there. I mean, I would disagree that the women who were cheating on their husbands with you were doing it because like they just thought you were amazing and so different. I'm sure you are all those things. But at the end of the day, though, those women weren't getting their needs met in their relationship, and they didn't know how to communicate that, or they had given up on communicating that. Their relationship was dead, and they found something that an outsider could give them that they could no longer get in their relationship. So the cheating is the end of a long story of relationship problems, because either her or her husband didn't have the skills to communicate that stuff.
I have a concern.
And I think that's where he missed the point of what Locario is saying. He said the influence. If you don't have no influence over this woman, then that's what's going to happen. He's going to cheat. He's saying what Locario say. He just saying it in a different way. Boy, they hate when somebody say men influence women. Boy, it's like that is like, or any, especially if a black man is saying about leadership. Ooh, boy, man, people be like going against that shit hard. Talking about, hey, buy things, woman, provide, protect, all that good. But when we talking about influence and being a leader, it's like, whoa. Huh? You mean follow your program? What? No. You lead me? Oh, especially it's a black man? Man, that's like, men lead me, influence me. They see that like that it's a negative. So, and this is what Locario was saying, where he just totally missed the mark. He's saying that because I don't have the influence over this woman no more, that's why she's looking for guys like Locario, because that man does not have that influence over that hold over her like he used to. So since he doesn't have that influence, she's not getting the needs met, because she would be fulfilled if he has that influence. She won't need nothing else. But once that influence is gone, once that, I want to say, control over her is gone, now guess what? She's going around. Now she's looking for Locario. So what Locario said made sense. It's just that, you got to make the women happy, and he's for the women. I've said this. Show me who provides the money, and I show you where their allegiance are. There's another guy on here like Ask Nathaniel. He makes his money with women. So he's going to side with women. Okay, that's just the way it is. So when I take his content in, and when I take his content in, I know it's going to be sided towards women. It's not going to be sided towards men. It's just the way it is. There's nothing more I can do for that. It's just how that is, man. You know. So you have to take his content with it's ultimately going to benefit women first, then men. It's just the way it is. That's why I don't, it is how it is. But I'm gonna cut this short because it's been over an hour, and I don't want to do too long of these live streams. So that's part one. We're gonna do part two. I want to say we'll probably do part two tomorrow because I thought there was really some good stuff in here. And so, with that said, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you for David Alvarez for coming through. T coming through. It's me and Conscious Moron coming through to check out the show. And like I said, I have the link to the show, this particular show, if you want to check it out on your own leisure. The name of the show is Alpha Males versus Modern Feminists, SOCAS episode 93. Now, like I said, I was just focusing more on Locario and how well he did and some of the stuff that I found interesting. So I was just pointing what's going on that. If you want to check out the whole thing, it was a really good show and really show you there are some things that the modern men and modern women agree on and certain things that they don't agree on. And definitely when it talks about, and you're going to see this next time, when you talk about this true freedom, a lot of people are not really down with that. A lot of people are not really down for true freedom, especially in relationships. They're not really down. You're going to get a taste of that next time. So with that said, thank everybody who came through. If you're listening through the clouds, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I do content like this a lot, reviewing stuff, giving my own opinion on it, and hopefully helping Black men get a leg up. So again, what I take from a lot of it is, first thing, have value in yourself, respect yourself, see the value in yourself, and then you can do what you want to do with the women as long as it's not nefarious. You want to have that influence over women where she just see you, rather you, no matter what you're making, you have to have value in yourself. But that's not saying don't be broke. Don't be a broke dude. Please don't be a broke dude. Don't be happy being broke. Don't be happy making 40K or just being broke or not doing the best that you can do. Do the best that you can do. And if you do that, the women you're going to have more influence over women than a dude who's just using money to get women. Okay. With that, I'm out. Remember, Black men, be powerful or be powerless. The choice is yours. I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Peace.